What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski and I am back again here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we're going to be talking about how to beat the brand new Fortnite boss that was announced for Global, being the Kraken. So, without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So, as we like to do, guys, in this video is we are going to review the unit that is the main boss of the dungeon itself. So here we have the Monster of the Arctic, Kraken. Now, you will drop him as a 3-star version in either 5, 10, 15, or 30 stamina, and he is actually a strength striker, so a little bit different. And at level 1 here, the 4-star version, he has 1,355 health, 602 attack, and 118 recovery. When he does get maxed out, he does get 2,700 health, 1,111 attack, and 33 recovery. So as you can see, it actually has a lot of health and a lot of attack, considering it is a 4-star unit. Now, the captain effect of the Kraken itself will boost the attack of strikers by 2 times, basically doubling their attack, and the special will change orbs into either strength or quick orbs, and also will deal strength damage. So you should be able to find this with a little bit of space in your team, because you could utilize this and another strength orb manipulator to basically make your team have full strength orbs. So it overall is a decent unit in general. So now let's go straight into how to beat the Kraken itself. So this will be a 10-stage battle in the 30 stamina, and you will be able to only use quick units. Now, this quick unit prerequisite is only available within the 15 and 30 stamina versions of the dungeon. Now, when you get halfway through this dungeon at battle 5 of 10, you will encounter a quote-unquote mini-boss, where it can be a selection of one of these 4 big boss monsters. So here we have the first one being Master of the Near Sea, which is located at the very first story isle on Chapter 3. Now, in this dungeon, it has 320,000 health and 3,770 attack. Now, each of these bosses has their own special ability. Now, this one will give a preemptive damage of his actual attack stat. Moving on, there is also Momo. Now, I know a lot of people actually want to get Momo because he actually is needed for one of the missions, I do believe. So, having Momo here, he does have his health at 200,000 and his attack is 4,952 with his ability, meaning that when he does get below 20% or less health, he will amplify his attack to a humongous stat. So you want to make sure that you can burst him down in that last 20%. Moving on now, we have the Neptunian Squid, which is available, I think, in a couple of story isles. I think it's available in Twin Cape, maybe, and it will be available here. And all of these guys will drop, but this one has approximately 120,000 health with an attack of 1,220, and his ability will preemptively poison you for 100 turns, dealing a little bit of damage at the end of every turn, which is kind of annoying, and probably one of the most difficult ones to take down, considering that poison. It can become a very big burden for your team. And the last one is the hidden boss of the dungeon, being Laboon. Now, his health and attack haven't actually been found yet. I've been doing a lot of research myself, and I cannot find anything about him. And when he does get below 20% or lower health, he will deal 50,000 damage to you. So it will pretty much kill a lot of teams. So you need to be careful if you do encounter Laboon, that you do take him down as quick as possible. So once you do complete the mini-boss and make your way to battle 10 of 10, you will encounter the final boss battle, being the Kraken. Now, his health is approximately 900,000, which is a lot heavier than the previous dungeons, being Khalifa, Lucci, and Frankie. This is definitely the highest health boss that we've had in a while, and his attack is 2,880, so it is a little bit more manageable than the previous 3 dungeons, and his attack interval will be every 2 turns. However, when you do encounter him, sometimes his cooldown will be at 1, and sometimes it'll be at 2. It just really depends on the specific Kraken that you find in your dungeon. Now, some additional notes just to basically talk about the Kraken himself. As a preemptive attack, the Kraken will convert all of your orbs into either Psi, Int, or Blank, or Quick. Now, that's kind of interesting, and you do have a couple of team suggestions in this video that will help you out with these orb manipulations, because the Kraken is known for this. He actually does manipulate your orbs for the first 3 turns that you actually encounter him. After the first turn, he will alter your orbs to either Recovery or Tandem, which is very, very annoying, and the turn after that, he will also either change them either to Strength or Dex. Now, also in between these 2 turns here, he could attack you depending on the cooldown that I did say. It could be 2 or it could be 1. and if you take more than 5 turns to kill the Kraken, he'll recover a lot of health. So as you can see, the Kraken is actually a pretty difficult boss to take down, and if he drops below 20% health, he will deal 4,444 damage. So this is all the information that we have on the Kraken, so hopefully you guys will have, a substantial team to take down the Kraken, and just make sure you do take him down, before that turn where he can recover his health, because if he does get that chance, it will make him a lot harder to take down. Now let's go ahead and over to another little bit of information talking about the skill books available within this isle. Now, there are actually a couple of good skill books to really farm for in this isle. Number 1 on the list being Whitebeard. Now, this is probably the most anticipated skill book on release because, Whitebeard special, being able to reduce all your opponent's HP by 30% is absolutely crazy. Although a lot of people might not still have Whitebeard, even though if you do get this book inside the dungeon, it would be good to keep it because according to some research on the actual dungeon of the Kraken, there's only a 6% chance of this Whitebeard book actually dropping for you. Previously in the Lucci dungeon, there was a 25% chance that a Marco book will drop. Now if you compare that, that is just crazy because I know a lot of people were struggling to get those Marco books, and that is even less chance now to get the Whitebeard books. Also another notable skill book to get here is the Flintcock Pistols ISO, a really good Dex Orb Manipulator, changing strength and quick orbs to Dex, and was actually the unit that I was using against Lucci to maintain, maximum orbs against him. Also, some other units here that you could potentially max out finding their skill books is Broggy and Dory. Now, a lot of people were actually farming Broggy in particular, so they can actually try and max out his special in this dungeon, and also with Dory as well. So now that we've had a look at the unit itself, how to beat it, and the skill books that can be found, now let's actually have a look at the teams that can be used to take down the Kraken Isle a little bit easier. Now the first one that we have here is the quote-unquote budget quick orb manipulation team. Now, with this team, you do have the double Diable Jambe. Now, Diable Jambe effect will basically increase the health and attack of all your quick units by 1.5 times, which is pretty average, to be honest. When you double that with another one, you get 2.25 times health and attack of all of your quick units, which is actually pretty good. Having that much health and also that much attack as well, it's pretty decent, and with a crew cost of 65, it is pretty easy to make, especially for a low-level team. The only thing is that this team doesn't really have a lot of firepower, but the reason why you're using the Baroque Works officer, Miss Valentine, and also Lou in this team is basically for that orb manipulation. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the Kraken does have a tendency to change your orbs up a lot. Now, you can partner up this team against the Kraken because basically you can use all of these specials and basically really easily manipulate your team to have maximum blue orbs, and then using Kaku to double the effectiveness of your orbs for 2 turns, I believe it is. So that's crazy. You get a lot of firepower out of that, and can definitely take out the Kraken with a team like this. Moving on, I do have the exact same team, except if you really want to be that guy and have a lot more attack rather than your health, you can ditch a little bit of health for some attack power. As you can see here, if you do choose to have a friend ace, or you could have yourself an ace and a friend captain of Diable Jambe, this is still kind of a budget team because I know a lot of people will have Diable Jambe, but not everyone has ace, so having a team like this makes it a little bit easier to make, and it is also the same crew cost because your friend captain is not added onto your cost as well, so there's not too much to say about that. It's pretty much the same as the previous team, although you are getting a little bit more attack, costing some health. Now moving on to the assault team. Now this is probably one of my favorite teams, however you will be a little bit at a disadvantage trying to get your orbs, but that does get made up for because of the amount of units that you have, and just the firepower that you can get in this team is absolutely crazy. Now, you do run the double ace lead, giving you 6.25 times attack. That's actually a miscorrection there. That's should just say attack of quick units, and your crew cost is actually 112. So as you can see, this is definitely not a budget team by any stretch of the imagination, but it is a little bit harder to come across and a little bit harder to make. But if you do have these units, having this much firepower plus the ace leads is absolutely crazy, and having Kaku there to double the effectiveness of orbs, you can just imagine how crazy this team could be, and just the amount of firepower you can get out of it. So that is going to conclude yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and if you guys did, make sure to smack the like button down below, and if you want to stay up to date with all of the content that I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, then make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.